What's up, guys? In the last video I showed you a Graves game in High Masters. Now I wanted to show you a little bit of a different game. In this game I'm playing Nidalee against Nyla. And Nidalee, just like Graves, is known for her potential high aggressive early game because she's just by her identity a very strong jungler. She can invade very well, she has a lot of mobility, she has a lot of damage output. And in this game, I will show you how I play in those kind of jungle matchups. Again, as I told you, most important stuff in the jungle, the 1-on-1 matchup, okay? This is what we're looking at. Nila against Nidalee. Nidalee, Bren, if you have winning lanes, this game is over, okay? This is very tough for her. So, how do I play this game? I have, first of all, you still have to look at your lanes, okay? I have a Malphite top against Wukong. Both have DP, both have Grasp. This is not a lane you want to play for, especially not path towards. Because if we look at the bot side, we have a very aggressive and strong bot lane. And they have a very passive bot lane. They have a Kai'Sa with Fleet, which basically tells you she's very passive in lane, not very strong keystone. And we have a Varus with Hail of Blades, and by his nature he's very strong in lane, with a Leona against a Lulu, okay? So we for sure want to start red buff and path bot lane. Why am I saying for sure? Because the second thing you have to consider besides lanes is a jungle matchup, right? So knowing that I want to path bot lane and I can get my red buff as my first buff, which allows me to be very strong once I clear red, Crocs, Raptors, I'm level 3 with red buff. If I start a blue buff, invading a Nidalee is very tough, because only the red buff gives you a very guaranteed chance to kill her in her jungle. Right? If we start a blue buff, we would 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, most likely 5 camps. And then we're very strong, right? But we want to pressure early game. Because we have a strong bot lane, which we can path towards, and also get the red buff first, right? And we don't have no incentive to play for top side, so this is a no-brainer, okay? Really. And why am I saying this? This all comes down to fundamentals, the jungle matchup, and your lane matchups. And knowing this, I know, okay, pathing bot lane, most likely I want to do that. And I also get my red buff very early, so I can invade and play very aggressive, right? I mean, you can also go for red buff into this, into invading her Gromp, right? If you know she's starting over here. In this game, I actually knew that she started on her blue buff because we have this ward, right? We actually, level 1, we went up here and put on the ward. So I know for sure, doing this red buff, I could go for this, yes, but a way better play is taking my red, my Crocs, my Raptors, and going like this, okay? And of course this depends on your information. If my mid laner is 1 HP getting pushed up, maybe the stat is killable. Instead of going for invade, I just go to kill mid lane, right? If he has no flash, no W. But in this game, as you will see, this is all about the jungle matchup, since my lanes allow me to do this, and also the matchups, okay? And this is all jungling is about, just playing with the information you got. And the first type of information, and one of the most important types, is the jungle matchup and your lane matchups, right? Also I have a Twisted Fate against a set, so naturally I will have a push mid lane, which makes it even easier for me to invade, right? Because the enemies cannot help the... what am I saying? This is not a needle. Oh, fuck, I'm stupid. Whatever, you get the point. Yeah. So, right, I know she's now on the bot side, right? And I'm actually showing the blue side vision over here. But I knew that this is going to happen, right? Because I had a ward and she has to be bot side now. So I end up invading her. And this is just fundamentals. She gets absolutely wrecked. And this was a no-brainer play for me, okay? So in this type of scenario, there's 2 to 3 options, right? Mid lane, not very killable. He still has flash and most likely W. My bot lane, also not killable, or the enemy bot lane. So I actually go for her camps over here, okay? And why am I doing this? I am doing this because I know that this enemy jungler has nothing. He did a 5 camps. If I take this, the only thing he can take is the scuttle, top or bot side, right? Most likely top side. And after doing this, you have to think about if the enemy jungler can invade your top side camps and if you have to protect them. If there's nothing going on the map, of course, okay? If the enemy bot lane is like 1 HP and my bot lane is fisting them, I'm going there, even though these camps are respawning soon, right? I don't give a shit. This is way more gold. But in this scenario, let's see what I'm doing. Okay. So usually I would, in this scenario, base. Of course, I'm looking at lanes, but look at this. Okay, I know that the enemy jungle has to be topside, and I know that I can actually cross map. Okay, I can actually pressure her topside. And look at this. He actually kills him. I mean, the reason was I wanted to go like this because the mid lane was very volatile, right? If mid lane was fine and the reset, I reset, okay? But I knew that the enemy jungle is here, so I actually want to be in a position to defend this Twisted Fate, right? Now he kills him and I instantly base. Look at the timer for me, please, okay? 350. We know that the first camp after your buff respawns at what timer? 420. So I know my Crocs up at 420, Raptors up at 440. Your camps are always 20 seconds apart, except for your buffs, right? So looking at the timer, I know, because this guy has to be topside, he could think about doing this, right? So I actually end up basing because I have a lot of gold and bot lane is really not anything going on. So instead of going for this, I actually end up basing, and I know that I can protect the dive or protect my camps. And if you're stronger than the enemy jungler, most of the time you want to match them, right? So, because counter ganks, if you're stronger, they cannot breathe, bro. This game is over for the enemy jungler, unless my teammate's in red. And you minimize the chance of them inting by, you know, playing around them or matching the enemy jungler. In this case, actually, he was there a little bit earlier than me, but it's still fine. He actually ends up dying for this dive. So now, what am I doing? I saw the enemy jungler CS. I knew that he had like 20 CS, so I knew he didn't do this, right? Because he did 3 camps in the bot side and he died on red buff. No, he actually had 16 CS, so 4 camps. So I did this. I still know, because it's 420, right? 427. If my first camp is up, his first camp has to be up, right? So I could actually think about doing this, right? In this scenario though, so I basically know the enemy jungler has to be topside, unless he's going for some crazy play like this, okay? But you know, we have vision over here, so if he went for this, I would see him. So I know he's topside. I actually end up crossing the map over here, because I don't really want to invade this guy on this, because my method is basing, right? And I still have this entire quadrant up, and I know that he will most likely not go for this, since he's so weak and I can't fist him. So he's very scared right now. Even if the enemy jungle went for this, there is so many camps, I'm fine with giving this away. Because Malphite comes out of base, you can check this. For this guy to go for this, is not very worth for him, and I'm fine with him doing this, right? And I know, looking at the timer, for 49, his third camp will respawn soon, right? Remember, first camp for 20 respawn timer, second camp for 40. Third camp for 40, 20 seconds apart is 5 minutes. So I know that his Raptors will be up soon, okay? So I'm actually fine with him doing this, because I want to actually be around bot side still, because they're the strong lane here. I want to hover around mid and bot side, especially if my camp's up and the Drake is spawning. So this is what I'm doing. So let's look at this. What am I doing here? I end up crossing the map, getting the scuttle, denying it. And over here I actually end up going for his Raptors. This is all fine. The very good thing about this is also I stay in proximity to mid lane in case there's something happening. This is why invading is also really nice. So looking at this, bam, that's what I'm talking about, right? So actually my plan was just to invade this, but since the map gave me information that the set was over pushing, and I have a Twisted Fate with gold card, and the set has no flash and no W, we can just kill him, right? So then I ended up going for my Raptors. She ended up not quite showing bot side, but I knew at this point, because she did her camps over here, because there were no camps up, you know, I did her Raptors. She was not there, so she must have been topside. I know that I can actually clear my Raptors and then match her again bot side, right? Look at me, I'm running bot side again. She's over here, I'm coming. And she actually doesn't think about this, so I'm very surprised she does this, because she should know that I'm over here. So what ends up happening, I just kill her. And again, I mean, the game is over at this point, but this is very fundamental jungling, okay? I want you guys to remember that. I'm 3-0 with Nidalee. This is a high Masters game, okay, in EU West. This is, if you apply the fundamentals, shit like this is so easy. So, what can you take away from this game? Just like in the last video, think about your champion identity compared to the enemy jungler, the matchup. Aggressive jungler, or very strong early game jungler, kinda weak compared to me, right? I have Dark Harvest, and yeah. Then you have to look at lanes. My lanes are relatively strong in the early game, and my bot lane is especially good. So I want to path bot side, and this also allows me to get my red buff, which makes me very, very strong, and I'm more than able to pressure this guy, the enemy jungler, right? That's how I decided my pathing. Second thing, I also dropped on a ward, so I actually knew where she was, which is very important. If you didn't drop a ward, which I would recommend if you're a stronger jungler and there's no danger of you dying for putting down this ward, you can actually know if they leashed by the enemies showing on the map or not. In this case, neither of them leashes, which happens a lot in high elo, which is why this ward is even more important. So yeah, knowing where the enemy jungler starts, and bam, from this get-go, man, I'm telling you, like top lane, of course, you can already determine in the loading screen, there's not really anything happening topside. This is just the nature of this lane. But if this Wukong was 1 HP, would I go top lane? If it was worth, yes. It's a Malphite still, I can still go for an invade, mid lane has push. So I'm actually 9 times out of 10 I'm going for this, right? I have a strong bot lane, a strong mid lane. My bot lane is actually getting out pushed, but I know that I can kill this guy before they come, okay? So end up doing this, and by this time, it's all about fundamentals. Do I have to base? Fuck no. Can I take this before the enemy jungler comes? Yes. My mid lane is prior, my bot lane can move in case they come. I'm still nearly with flash, I can escape easily. And I have no reason to go for my camps, to base for my second respawn on top side. So this is what I'm doing here. Taking this. Yeah, I know the enemy jungler has to go topside if it doesn't show bot lane, right? Because there are no camps up on the map whatsoever. I actually went mid lane because he was, mid lane was kind of vulnerable. But as soon as he dies, I just base and go for the go to protect the top lane dive, because I knew the enemy jungler had to be topside. He was kind of faster than me, but it's still fine. He went for gank, which was very stupid, to be honest. He ended up dying with 16 CS, so ended up taking the scuttle, and from there on, I don't protect my raptors. I mean, in this scenario, actually, if you're the Nidalee, you can go for your raptors. After taking scuttle, I can go for this base, and go for this, and still match her. Might be the better option. I think it's still not wrong to go for this, because I know that she will never take this. She's way too weak. My support is out of base. I could actually ping him to go here if she comes. She has no flash, so I'm actually fine with doing this. But going for my raptors and my Crux into resetting and matching her bot side and playing for bot lane is also a very fine option. Maybe the safer one, to be honest, to get ahead. And from there on, looking at the timer, I know, okay, she started topside. Her third camp are the raptors. Third camp spawns at 5 minutes, so I just take them. Since she doesn't show, she has to be topside. My mid lane actually ends up stunning him. My raptors are still up, which means she has to go bot side soon. And I end up doing my raptors and instantly going to my camps now, because I know she has no camps up. The only thing she can do is this, to be honest. And I want to protect my top lane, but she actually ended up invading in Nidalee. So yeah, I actually end up killing her. And this is Master Elo, bro. This is all fundamentals. Yeah, I hope you guys learned something from this game. If it was anything, please take away the fundamentals. Think about the enemy jungler, think about the matchup, think about your opportunities, especially in the early game, to invade them, especially considering your lanes. In this game it was a Twisted Fate, who in the early games against Zed especially has to push. He outpushes him really hard. And the jungle matchup, I just outdamage her very hard. And in these kind of games you have to think about this, because this is the only way you can dominate a game completely. I actually ended up going 12-0 in this game, and this was like high masters, okay? It's not magic, it's just determination and learning the game the right way. Yeah, that's it, thanks.